If you're planning a guided tour to Israel or even just thinking about it and have no idea where to begin, this video is for you. Sagi, my partner, and I have wanted to create this video for a long time, but then there was a war and
Then another one.
and then another one, and now we finally have the chance. We are both licensed tour guide. I focus more on video content while Sagi continues to guide and is the founder of Levi Israel Tours. I hate logistics, and making reservation for people stresses me out. And the logistics are like where the tour starts. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Shalom, Oren. It's good to finally sit down. I've been guiding in Israel and Jordan over 15 years, and somewhere along the way, I realized that what I love just as much as guiding is planning the journey itself. Because Israel isn't just another destination. I think that for most people, it's something they've been thinking about and even dreaming about it for years.
Very true. I see it on my channel. People think about Israel long before they purchase the ticket.
And my role goes beyond tours or logistics. I focus on shaping the entire experience and making sure that every part fits the traveler personally. Take Jerusalem, for example. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Catholic, Protestant, or atheist. Jerusalem is a symbol. It represents something deeply personal to each individual.
And Israel can be overwhelming. I think there is a level of stress involved in traveling in general, that people don't talk about. You're in a new place, you don't understand the language, you have a lot of intense family time, so many decisions to make.
For that reason, we handle the maps, the timing, and you can just focus on enjoying your trip. We can stand in a 2,000 years old ruin or share a meal with locals in the Galilee. I want my visitors to feel the pulse of this place without worrying about the next turn. Your only job is to discover and enjoy the land of Israel.
So let's make it practical. I'm in my house in Wisconsin, I'm 60, I want to come to Israel with my wife, or I'm 50, and we are a family of 5, and we want to celebrate a Bar Mitzvah next year in Israel. How do you actually approach planning?
We start from the beginning. First, we need to understand how many days we have to travel and adjust the sites we visit to the length of the trip and the season. A trip in December won't be the same as a trip in August. In December, we will focus more on urban trips, some museums, and we won't go for so many hikes. While in August, we will try to combine some water activities to cool ourselves down and enjoy the waters of the Mediterranean, the Sea of Galilee, and even kayaking in the Jordan River.
So I've thought about it, and let's say I arrive in October for 8 days. What would you recommend?
Oren, the biggest mistake people make is trying to see everything and run from place to place. Sometimes less is more. And as a start, I tell people stop thinking about sites and start thinking about the regions. Here's my golden guideline for the first trip: 50, 25, 25. 50% in Jerusalem. It's the heart. Give it 3 to 5 days. You need time to actually feel the history, not just past it. And from Jerusalem, we travel to the Dead Sea. 25% Tel Aviv. The vibes of Israel today. I believe 2 to 3 days for the food, the beach, the history, and of course, the people. And 25% will be the Galilee or the Negev. You need to choose the green mountains of the Galilee or the silence of the desert.
That's a great way to start planning. I call it the heart, the line in the land. The heart is Jerusalem, the line, road number 1, connecting Tel Aviv to the Dead Sea, and the land is like the Negev and the Galilee. But let's talk about the sites. What do I actually do in each region?
Look, you can always do the classics. Masada, Jaffa, the Old City, they're famous for a reason. But Israel is not the same for every traveler. A family planning a bar mitzvah needs a completely different tour and pace than a group of Christian pilgrims. If I'm the one planning it with you, my first job is not to talk. I need to listen. Are there kids who need to run from place to place or older parents who need some comfort? Are you here for archaeology of the Bible, the food of the markets, or modern geopolitics. There are thousands of sites in this land, and my value is filtering those down into a custom itinerary. We take the must-see sites and add unique experiences and personal touch.
People don't realize that Israel is tiny, but each place has so many layers and angles. A good guide's role is to adapt each site to the audience they are guiding. But let's break it down. Can you give us example for guides, tours, like activities?
Of course, if you're in Tel Aviv and want to enjoy the culinary and the flavors of the city, don't just walk in the markets. We can arrange Natalie Berliner or Uri Moore, which are amazing local Tel Aviv guides, and they know the soul of the city. If you want to see the graffiti and the underground art scene, Natalie and Niro are the masters. They'll show you the side of Tel Aviv that isn't on any map. If you want to learn about the complex and the geopolitics of the Golan Heights, I recommend a jeep tour with Ilan from Maron Golan. He's living it every day.
Yeah, Ilan is great. I heard so many good things from travelers about his geopolitics tours. And if you are already there, you can also visit the Druze village. Their story and their relationship to Israel is very interesting, and their food is so good, you must try it.
Definitely. And one of the best places to taste it is at Nuseiba's place. The food is incredible, and the story is even better. Nuseiba was the first woman there to get her driving license, and she opened her first amazing and successful business. She paved the way for thousands of women that came just after her. And once you meet her, you will understand why the people are the real treasure of this land. But while you're in the Golan Heights, you must try the knafe of Abu Jabal for dessert.
And what about the south and Jerusalem?
In the desert, if you're coming with kids, try sand skiing on the dunes of the Negev Desert or having lunch in a Bedouin tent at Ben Midbar. And in Jerusalem, a nighttime walking tour through the ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods of Jerusalem is an amazing window into a world that feels frozen in time. An incredible food which is sold in the middle of the night.
Speaking of nighttime in Jerusalem, one of my favorite things is visiting the Western Wall late at night. The air is cooler, and it is amazing to discover that even at like 4 a.m., people are there praying, and it is free. And talking about free, let's talk about one of the biggest expenses in a tour in Israel, hotels. Like, how does it work? Do you prefer that people book their own hotels, or is it like part of the package?
First of all, my advice, book early. Israel is expensive, and the longer you wait, the higher the price and the demand. Look online, see what's out there, get a sense of the hotels and the locations. But personally, I usually prefer to book the hotels for my clients. The reason is simple. I work with those hotels regularly. I know which rooms are better, which locations makes most sense for your itinerary, and I can secure usually better rates. And maybe even more important, when I book the hotel, I can coordinate everything around your tour, early check-ins, logistics, and of course the timings of the drivers.
I've seen it so many times. People see an Airbnb that costs like $50 less in Jerusalem, but it is in Ramot Daled district in Jerusalem. And then we need to drive an extra hour in traffic and pay 70 shekels to park next to Jaffa Gate.
You can spend hours on TripAdvisor, but as an operator, I make sure that the overnight fit the flow of the itinerary.
And at the end of the day, what is the cost of this service?
As I said, we provide better rates than what you can find online. It's a win-win. We work with these hotels on a high volume all year long, and they give us preferred rates. You get a better experience for less money, and you have us backing you up.
Which is important because if you or the hotel make mistakes, which can happen, you have someone to call directly. But let's be practical. Can you give me a rough idea of the cost? How much is a day of guiding with or without a car? And what about a week-long trip?
Sure, prices vary depending on the guides. I personally work with some of the best guides in the country. A full day tour with one of the top guides typically costs between $550 to 650 US dollars. If you want the guide to also drive you in his private vehicle, the price can range from $1,000 to $1,300, depending on the size, destinations, and of course the type of the vehicle.
Okay, so we talked about planning, guiding, hotels. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, it may sound a little cliche, but I really think that traveling in Israel is always meaningful. But I truly believe that now is a unique time to visit Israel. You'll see the country after a major crisis, and instead of falling apart, we even got better, and we have a powerful story to tell, always, but especially these days.
Sagi, thank you for the great tips, but we barely scratched the surface.
Owen, it's really endless. And here is the bottom line. Planning a trip to Israel should be the beginning of the joy, not the beginning of your headache. Look, if you already booked your hotels and all you need is a guide for 2 days in Jerusalem, I'm happy to help. But I think that the real magic happens when we design the whole journey together. You can start by taking a look at the link below and you can see all our tour packages lists.
As a guide, I always thought that guiding itself was the most important thing, and of course it is very important. But when you talk to your group at the end of the trip and you ask what they enjoyed the most or what they will take away with them, it is rare that anyone would say, Oren, you're guiding at Masada. It's like always something more holistic. It makes the whole tour so much better when the personal itinerary, logistics, and guidance come all together. All the links are below, and see you here soon.
Yalla
Yalla
bye.
bye.